What's up, nail geeks, and welcome back to another polish pickup video. This month we have the theme Misheard lyrics, and it's an interesting mixture for sure. I thought last month we had a wonderful mix of finishes, and I felt like a lot of the makers were not shy to bring out the crellies and the flat non-hollow glitters or things like that. But this month is definitely more versatility. I think we're seeing so many pretties. I have several of this month's offerings to show you guys, and per usual at the end of the video I'm going to have my new segment, Will It Undie, if you will, I guess an ode to good mythical morning, where I show the polishes over a black swatch stick to see if they will be versatile enough to be a topper, if you can use them other ways too. I chose black as the base of choice because I feel like if it's going to pop over black, it's going to pop over pretty much any color. And before we get on to the swatches, we have our very infamous winners shaming quarter. Last month I didn't have very many of you email me, so I don't know. I think maybe some people just don't want me to throw some money at them. I'm a little surprised at that. So we're gonna have a thorough shaming corner. I have one winner, so shame on you for January. I have a couple for April, and I have several of you for May. So let's start with January's. Oh, my mistake. I'm missing two of you for January. So I've got Panda 652. 6N4. I've got a Propose Heather. Email me, please. We've got Kathy Wellman. You have not emailed me either. Shame, shame, shame. And then we've also got for April. Oh, April was my one month where I had one of you. Mobile Munchkins 8081. Email me, please. Shame, shame, shame. And last month's big shame, because there were 6 of you, we've got Julia Raposo 7. We've got Annie, I'm going to say this so wrong and butcher it, Annie B.O.J. I don't know, but it's going to be on the screen here so you can see that. We've got Jolly Dope Smoker. We've got User V. It's a lot of letters and words, so I'll also have that on the screen too. And we've got Skabiska and 442olds.com racing 4. So please email me so I can get you your $10 PPU gift codes. For this month, we're also going to be having another sponsored giveaway too, where I will be choosing 10 of you to win a $10 PPU gift code. All you have to do is leave a comment below, and I will choose 10 random ones for you guys, and I will have the giveaway ending next Tuesday. So I know I'm a little late this month. I like to get the videos out super early, but life has happened and here we are. But at least I made it before wish listing, and I'm going to count that as a win. So leave a comment below, and we have a lot of goodies this month. So without further ado, let's dive right into the swatches. And first up, we've got Baroness X. This is My Pony Plays the Mamba, described as a sister to Eleusinian Mysteries, Mighty Heart, and Mimos. These were all released previously through PPU this year. This is described as a clear base with violet to pink shimmer loaded with silver reflective glitter. It is suggested to be used as a topper as opposed to wearing it by itself, but you can build it up in 2 to 3 coats. So because of that, and because I have the Will It Undie segment at the end of the video, I chose to just go ahead and show you guys when I swatched it on my nails what it would look like on its own. It does build up very nice, but please note you will see your visible nail line or your smile line regardless of how you wear it. I'm going to suggest going up to 3 coats if you do it this way, and possibly using a blurring base coat if a VNL bugs you, but it does offer quite a bit of glow. Now it does dry down thirsty, and it does have that dusky background to it, so I'm going to definitely point out that if you wear it as an undie, it's going to gray out whatever cream you choose to wear it over. And next up, we've got Bee's Knees Lacquer. This one's They're Coming for the Snail, described as a black polish with green to blue microflake shimmer and large particle pink to gold to green multi-chrome magnetic shimmer. This one's $13.50, and there is no cap. Now I had a major dummy moment, and I swatched this one very early on in the month when I started receiving my PPU PR. and I didn't realize it was a magnetic polish. So I swatched it initially unmagnetized, and then I was like, oh, it is magnetic. So I do have the footage for both magnetized and unmagnetized, along with the swatches to go with it. So I figured, what the hell, why not just throw them both in here and not let my work go to waste? So I figured no one would complain about that. And you can see here, beautiful, smooth formula. And to me, this reminds me of a very vampy confetti bomb when you wear it alone. Now, if you wear it alone or magnetized, I think 2 coats is perfect. Now, on this portion right here where I did use a magnet on it, I went ahead and swatched it just a touch different from how I did it on the first go, where I did, in my opinion, for me, 2 normal coats. But on this way, I wanted to really plump it up for the second coat to make sure I have plenty of magnetic pigment to work with. And using DRK's Magic Magnetic Top Coat and PPU's Ring Magnet, you can see I got that nice design. I do think that the magnetic look overall is very subtle in swatches, but please note what you're seeing on the video here is what I'm seeing in person. It's very shifty, but again, it's very deep, dark, and vampy overall. So it's not this eye-popping sort of thing, but I think that little last tidbit there on the video will give you a good idea of what I saw in person. And next up, we've got DRK Nails. This is Rita Lee, described as an electric teal, purple, magenta magnetic mixed with purple to red shimmer. This one's going to be 14 and there is no cap. So this is one of those magnetics, again, very similar to Bee's Knees in that it looks fantastic, unmagnetized and magnetized. So lots of versatility here. I think if you choose to wear it either way, I think 3 coats is perfect. Go a little light on your coats because it does have that strong plumping factor and you don't want to overbuild it. And you can see here on that 3rd coat, it's very flattering, very shifty, especially if you're a teal and purple type lover. And it magnetized very easy, reacted very well to the Magic Magnetic Top Coat. And you can see lots of movement there. So very flattering. This is one of those more loud, in-your-face contrast between the magnetic shimmer and the pigment in the background. So no texture or anything like that here, but I would suggest going in with a thinner glossy top coat because, again, this does have that strong, thicker, sort of squishy feeling to the formula. All right, the next product I have to show you guys is DRK Nails Seal Glaze Top Coat. This is intended to be used for a bleeding polish, aka a polish that is very pigmented. That notorious purple comes in mind. And it's also used for nail art as a non-smudging top coat. I personally have used it multiple times. This is not my first bottle of it being gifted to me that I have used it for nail art. It is fantastic at making sure that your hard work is not smudged. And it does come with some instructions, a cute little instruction guide here. And it states that when you're going to use it along with your top coat of choice, whether it's nail art or a super saturated pigment, you're going to apply it over your nail polish, and then you're going to let it dry down for 30 minutes, and then you'll see it go from foggy, and then when it gets crystal clear again, you can go ahead and apply your top coat of choice. I will be completely honest with you guys, when I've used it in the past, I am incredibly impatient, and time is money essentially, and I am so impatient, especially when it comes to swatching and whatnot. I need to speed through stuff. So I will be completely transparent that I have never waited 30 minutes for it to be used as a barrier to move on to my quick dry glossy top coat for nail art, and it's worked just fine. So it might be that you want to wait the 30 minutes, perhaps maybe you're listening to a podcast or a show or what have you while you're having some me time and doing your nails, but I personally, for nail art, have never had an issue with not waiting that 30 minutes. So what I'm going to show you guys here in just a moment for the demonstration is with nail art, in that that's how I use it to prevent any smearing for my hard work when I do some nail art. And I'm using a very pigmented stamping polish that almost always smears for me if I don't use some type of sealant over it. And so this is a really good demonstration for how it works. And the editing process, you're missing maybe 4 minutes tops between me using Seal Glaze and then going in with my glossy top coat. So here you can see I went ahead and applied it already to my ring finger and my pinky finger. And on my index finger here, applied it normally, how I normally do. And you can see that it starts off quite a bit glossy. And on my middle nail here, warning, this part is not satisfying. It's gonna bother you like hell, and I'm sorry, but I had to show you guys what it does. So I'm just going in, being real ugly to that brush into my nails, and I'm so sorry for this. I don't even like watching it, but you can see that it's sealing up that stamp. Normally this pigment to this particular stamping polish is very pigmented, so it does smear so easily from regular quick dries. This is what I strongly recommend to seal in and save your nail art, because you busted your bottom for that. Why would you want to smear it and have to start over? And then I'm going in with my normal quick dry glossy top coat, and you can see I can go heavy handed on that brush, allow it to really get in there. I don't have to float that glossy top coat over it, and I'm good to go. Nice plump and glossified, and I can't recommend enough in terms of using it for nail art. And next up, we've got Ethereal Lacquer. This is Lorraine, described as a mysterious and stormy gray with blue to violet shimmer. This one's going to be 13, and there is no cap. So again, we have this luminous, ethereal, lovely, ghostly, glowing looking polish from Ethereal. She just has a way with these shimmers. This does have a squishy formula, and it does start off a touch soft. So I think if a visible nail line really bugs you, you might want to use a blurring base coat or a nude base coat of some type. If you wear it alone, I'm going to suggest going up to 3 coats with it. Again, go in light because squishiness, and just enjoy that shimmer for days. It does dry down a little on the flat side, so I would suggest a good glossy top coat. This is so versatile and so glowy. At the end of the video, during the undie segment, you will see how this just pops so well over dark and pretty much any cream polish, in my opinion. And Fair Maiden, the ladies bring us You Can Call Me Green Bean for their final PPU polish together before their big divorce. This is described as a pale pea green with red to orange aurora shimmer packed with iridescent and hollow flake. Now this one's going to be 13 with no cap. So we have a very crelly formula. It does have a little bit of a squish factor to it, and it does dry down very thirsty and just a touch textured because of flakes, not because of glitters. And I'm going to suggest going very light on your coats to allow those flakes to just gently build up, so you'll get the strongest pond effect and goodies across your nails. I think on medium to deep skin tones, this is going to pop so well. So well. I mean, I really liked how it looked on myself. It was almost this pea green sort of pistachio base, and it just really lit up against me. And next up, we've got Femme Fatale. This is I Like Juice, described as a teal jelly base with magical blue magnetic effect and a smattering of flakes, superfine hollow slices, scattered silver hollow glitters, and sparse green hollow glitter. This one's 14 and has a cap of 250. So I do agree with that official description. This is a true jelly, and it does build up on the slightly slower side, but once you go in with that third coat, I thought it popped really well. So because it has that lighter jelly type formula to it, I'm going to suggest going in just a touch heavy-handed, because we want to make sure that we have lots of magnetic pigment to magnetize when we go in with the magnet. So if you choose to wear it on its own, you can see that it's giving you that gorgeous sparkly pond effect. And when you magnetize it, you can see that silvery bluish sort of magnetic pigment. In my opinion, this isn't one of those super contrasting ones either, but it's definitely there, and it gives you that ghostly sort of appearance that does have quite a bit of movement, but again, I do think it's on the more subtle side. And next up, we've got Garden Path Lacquers. This is Heaven is a Big Bird Now, described as a gray jelly base filled with red to orange shifting shimmer, tone shifting iridescent flakes, holographic microflakes, and black metallic microflakes. This is going to be $13.25, and there is no cap. So we've got a very lovely, easy, medium type formula. This spread very well across my nails, which I was pleasantly surprised because there's a lot going on here. The glow in general is very strong, especially when you put it over a black base, which you'll see at the end. Of course, this is not intended to be a topper at all, but you'll see just how much shimmer is packed in this one at the end. But I think 2 coats is perfect for it, and finish off with a good glossy top coat. And next up, we've got Night Owl Lacquer. This is Just Give Me a Raisin. I always heard that, by the way. This is a plum brown filled with rosy copper to gold to green shifting large particles shimmer. This one's going to be 13 and has no cap. So I thought I was a massive fan of that fine, delicate shimmer, but this type of shimmer, it is huge and it's massive. It gives you this strong foil-like effect, but also stays true to a shimmer, if that makes sense. It's really, truly lovely. I can't wait to see more of this pigment if this is becoming a thing now. I think this has a very lovely, rich type of formula to it. I think 2 coats is going to be perfect for most. And to give you guys a better idea of that beautiful gold shift, and I even saw lime green at more extreme angles, I did a little bit of extra posing for you guys there. And next up, we've got Pahlish. This is I Want to Hold Your Ham. Described as a bright pink base with hollow flakes and bright green to aqua to gold shifting pigment. This one's going to be 14 and has no cap. So this has a kind of light to medium formula. I was very pleasantly surprised that it does feel like it has that plumping factor, but when it dries down, it dried down very flat. So it's one of those type of super shimmery type polishes. For opacity, I'm going to suggest going up to 3 coats on it. Again, the dry down time was very quick and easy, and it does just kind of flatten itself out. And you can see on that 3rd coat there just how much it popped so well. The backdrop to this is absolutely a light pink, but the shimmer, as you can see, just takes over everything in this lime green and gold look. And in shaded light, you'll see just a touch of blue at the extreme angles. And next up, we've got Psyche Minerals. This is Chasing Payments, described as a lime to lemon green with a luminescent emerald green at the most extreme angles and packed with reflective silver glitter. This one's 13 with a cap of 100. This is really intense in person. It's exactly what I'm seeing here on the video, watching my playback. It reminds me of a distant cousin to that blue reflective one that she released a few months back, and that was so pretty. This one, again, is very intense like that one. So it has a lush, rich formula to it. I think 2 coats is going to be perfect for pretty much everyone. It's very heavy in the best way possible, and it does dry down quite flat and thirsty because of those reflective glitters. And next up, we've got Sassy Sauce. This is Are You Ready? Described as a lightly tinted violet linear hollow base with a strong purpley pink to golden green shimmer. This one's 13 with a cap of 400 bottles. This is straight up holographic rainbow goodness. If you appreciate those old school, intense holographic polishes like I do, with just that touch of a shimmer metallic look to it, this is definitely up your alley. This is rich and smooth on application. I think 2 coats is going to be perfect for most, and it's just so satisfying. The shimmer gives you that strong pinky purple sort of cast to it, but in the sunlight and in any type of intense lighting, you're going to see those beautiful rainbows just light up. This is just really popping and flattering. And last but not least, we've got Vapid. This is Ball-Headed Women, described as a taupe base with rainbow flakes and shifting shimmer in blue to purple to magenta to gold and green. So lots and lots of little iridescent flakes happening here. I do agree with the official description that there is a very dusky sort of happening going on with that base color. I think it gives you a good idea on that first coat there. As we build it up, it does give you that dusky purpley sort of effect, and you can see those little tiny to small, really. They're just very small, and it gives you this very delicate sort of iridescent rainbow effect, especially when you're in the sunlight. Now this does dry down quite flat, so I'm going to suggest a good thick glossy top coat with it, and for opacity I think 3 coats is going to be perfect for most. And now we're going to do the undie check, where I swatch the polishes over a black swatch stick. So we're going to go in a real quick alphabetical order. The Baroness X, you can really see it just lit up so well. I easily saw that nice purpley cast with a pink over at the most extreme angles. So in terms of a topper, I think this is mostly going to come off as that strong purple violet sort of shimmer. And of course, we've got those really nice reflective glitters here. This is going to make a really good topper. And next we've got the Bee's Knees. Of course, this one's so vampy and dark. I do think it kind of really goes well with a black undie. If you choose to wear this in any type of versatility, I think a black cream is probably going to be best. I think it's going to probably muddy up any other color really. But if you wanted to save on your bottle, this is absolutely the way to go. And use a black cream, 1, maybe 2 very thin coats, and magnetize it. And I think it's going to give you more opacity for that backdrop. But of course, you'll have less flaky action because you're essentially kind of diluting it. So did it undie? Maybe, sort of. It did pop very well, but I think to maximize that flaky effect, yes, I would wear it by itself. And next we've got DRKs. Of course, this one looked really good. I figured it would because it was very, very shimmer heavy. And I think one coat over dark creams like this are going to really pop very, very well. It's going to kind of exploit that multi-chrome effect. You're going to see a strong teal there, and then those purples at the little far edges of the nail. And when you magnetize it, that popped really well too, because we've got lots of movement with this pigment. It's on the lighter particle size, so easily you can see it there. But of course, you can see with that purple backdrop, it kind of muddied it up a little bit. So I think this is going to look fantastic over purples, probably blues, that sort of thing, if you chose to try to mess around with undies for that. And Ethereal, no surprise here. This one popped so well. I think this is going to be an excellent topper. I hardly saw the tint to the base. What just took over is that beautiful blue shimmer. It's strong, it's luminous, it's very glowing. So I would say this is very, very versatile. And then Fair Maiden was a pleasant surprise for me. I think I'm learning that Crellies with strong shimmers to them really do make some pretty awesome toppers, if you will. So I thought this one undied very well. It was really nice, and it just kind of exploited that orange to green sort of glow, and the flakes just kind of dispersed just enough to almost look purposeful like this. And here we've got the Femme Fatale. This one looks really nice over a dark color. I think this also popped really well once you magnetized it, given that it was just a touch on the subtle side when I wore it by itself. So over an undie, you can see how sparkly, and it just exploits the flakes by making it just a touch thinner, so you can see the flakes more as a pond effect. And then of course magnetized, you can see here what I'm talking about. You can see that it is still subtle, but because of that nice movement from the lighter type of pigment size, I think it did make it just a touch more noticeable in person. And then Garden Path just knocked my socks off. The shimmer to this is so powerful. It just transformed. I saw 0 of that gray base, and I just saw straight up shimmer action. So I think if you wanted to use this with an undie, I think it would be really cool, and it's very transformative depending on what you're going to wear. So of course, darker the undie, the more powerful that shimmer is going to come off. And then Night Owl, very interesting on this shimmer. I'm really liking it. I hope we see more of this type of shimmer coming out if it's, again, becoming a thing. But it did kind of lighten out the multi-chrome effect, so I'm mostly seeing that nice gold to a bronzy looking appearance. So it looked really nice, and again, this one also looked really purposeful if you chose to wear it like this. So I do think there's quite a bit of versatility with this. I would recommend going in with more earthy, aka like chocolatey sort of colors, and maybe the darker colors. And then we've got Pahlish. I was not surprised with this one. I knew this was going to do this one. Very similar to the Ethereal. Now it maximized that shimmer multi-chrome action. So that blue effect that was happening at the more extreme angles wearing it by itself popped more prominently doing it over an undie. So definitely it toppered really well. And then the Psyche minerals, of course, no surprise here. It looked really cool. I expected the shimmer to pop really well, but I was also pleasantly surprised that the general green appearance of it maintained. So really cool. It almost reminded me of one of the unicorn pea pigment siblings from way back in the day. There was one that had like a yellowy gold to green sort of shift. It reminded me of that over on the swatch stick here. And Sassy Sauce, I was pleasantly surprised with this one. I knew it had that rich, really nice formula to it, and I was not prepared for how opaque and strong this one was going to be over a black base. So yes, it amplified the shimmer, so we got that nice, strong, pinky sort of appearance, but the holographic effect stayed. So very pleasant surprise here. I would say that yes, it did work really well over an undie, but it's just that opaque that I think it just is a standalone. I almost want to say that this will probably stamp really well too because it's so opaque. And then finally we've got the Vapid here. This does take on that nice dusky sort of appearance that we saw with quite a bit of Crellies when I did the undie test with the Pahlish collection I did recently. And you can see it definitely scattered those iridescent flakes, so you're going to see quite a bit of that rainbow effect in the smaller size type, and the shimmer popped really well here too. So again, it just kind of subtracted from the colorful base and allowed those flakes to pop even more. And finally, here is the full family picture. You can see just how different they look. Let me know in the comment section which one surprised you the most. And that's it. I hope that was helpful for you guys. Wish listing should be opening up this coming Sunday. Keep in mind that it's not a specific time. It's whenever headquarters is ready to have the website up for previewing. And the shop will open for official shopping June 2nd at 11 a.m. Eastern time, and will run until June 5th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. What you guys aren't seeing is that there's been multiple takes of this because life again. So before we finish, we're going to conclude with the last segment, which is one of my favorites. And again, I'm always hearing that some of you enjoy it too. We're going to go over my potential wish list real quick. And this time I'm going to have pictures credited to the Makers Spoilers group in the Polish Pickup group, the main group. So far I've got I've been eyeballing Wildflowers. Someday we'll know. That looks like a really vampy, lovely red. Do I own the OG Slug Bug that might be similar? Yes. Am I still going to be getting that polish? Yes. So I am a collector at heart, and these are my Pokemon cards. So Danglefoots looks really pretty. It's got that nice bright turquoise. And I'm here for neon season, summer season, and that it looks nice and bright. KB Shimmers Root Beer Scented Hand and Body Scrub. That sounds so interesting to me, and you guys know I'm a major bakery sweet scented lover, and I think that's right up my alley. Polish for Days Barbie on the Boardwalk is 100,000% going to be coming home with me. That's a delicious looking, very bright neon pink, and I'm here for that. Cameo colors, that looks really pretty. I'm really digging that nice, it almost looks like a true sort of gold. I like gold that is not like that antique gold. Like, it's hard to describe. I would rather it not be so yellow toned, but more earthy toned, if that makes sense. And this looks like it's going to be really sparkly too. Cuticula's Baker's Gonna Bake is very pretty. I'm really digging that. The shimmer is wonderful. Lynn B's looks really nice. I think that would look fantastic with a nude base, in my opinion. I think that is really up my alley, and the name is Chef's Kiss. It's hilarious. So go check that out if you haven't seen it already. Adored Colors. I'm really digging that it's a it's almost like a white looking, but it's got like, when I'm seeing shimmer, at least, yes, it does have a gold sheen, so I'm saying gold shimmer. And then it's got those little speckly polka dot blue specks going through it. And then it glows in the dark too. So that one's also caught my eye. Kathleen & Co. Pearl Jam. I'm digging that. It looks like it's going to be super shimmery, almost like maybe a milky base. I need to look at more swatches, but that's definitely caught my eye too. I will be grabbing Polished for Days Soft Focus in Snow because I'm a major fan of milky finishes. And I think this is going to be fantastic. For me, not as a blurring base coat per se, but I would use this more as like for nail art for like pond effects and things like that. Cadillacquer was my first oh my god moment where I was like, I have to have that. When I saw the first swatches to it, I was like, that looks like Crelly heaven. And yeah, so that one's definitely going to be coming home with me. Hearts and Promises, of course, it's this like just deep, super glowy looking turquoise, and I'm digging it. Glisten Glows, I really like that. Of course, it's inspired by Elton, so I already love the inspiration as it is. But it's a milky finish, and I'm here for that. Alchemy Lacquers, I'm really liking that one. It looks very, very glowy too, and I really like the holographic aspect. I think it's bordering on kitchen sink, which I'm always saying I don't like. That's just my personal preference. But I feel like it's not so much that it looks muddy, if that makes sense. Like, you can easily pick out a holographic effect and then a shimmer effect. Like, they're not clashing with each other, if that makes sense. Rogues looks really nice. I think it definitely gives me reminiscent vibes of one of my favorite Night Owl finishes, which was Hang 10. If you guys remember that. I really, really, like, that polish made me appreciate white, milky finishes with an iridescent look to it. And I have to have this one too. I think they're different enough anyway. So I definitely need that. All Mixed Up Lacquers came back with another really pretty, super shimmery polish, and I really like it. I want to see more swatches of it since we're just seeing it on a swatch wheel, but I will definitely have that on my maybe list as I do some more homework to decide if it's going to make it on my official list. Cupcake Polishes looks really pretty. I'm really digging that really rich, just straight up holographic flake vibe, and she does hollows very, very well. Sweet and Sour Lacquer is very interesting in that I don't see very many yellows, and I do appreciate the color itself. I like that this one has just straight up shimmer action, so I think that one might just go ahead and skip through the wish listing and will eventually just make it into my cart because I really like that one. Swamp Gloss. This one is straight up kitchen finish, but I like that they don't clash. So I guess I'm eating my words a little bit this month, but I don't like kitchen sink polishes, but this one I can dig this one. It's nice. I think they all go together really well. I'm thinking about Lumens. I really like that it's straight up holographic finish, but I like that I feel like, to me, it's going to lean more of a hollow neutral on me. I think I need to do a little more homework on swatches, but I'm thinking that's how it'll look, and I really appreciate that. BCB Lacquers, that pink is very, very pretty. I'm seeing a lot of flakies in it, and I'm pretty picky with flakes, so I need to do some more homework on that. But so far, the base color looks really, really pretty. Anger and Hearts, I will 100% be getting this one too. This is just blue perfection, and I like the simplicity of it. There's not too much going on, but that blue looks striking, and the inspiration is hilarious, and I always heard that Misheard lyric myself. And the other one that's going to be going directly to my cart, I'm not even going to have to think about, is Watches. I really, really like this one, and it's got little stars in it. And by Danny Viana, when she did the star glitter, that made me realize that I like glitter shapes. I didn't think I did before, but that's definitely given me an appreciation for shaped glitters, and Watches is 100% going to be coming home with me. Dom's is gorgeous. It's straight shimmer red goodness, and I really, really like that one too. That's caught my eye. MJ Lacquers looks really pretty. It looks like it's going to be like a confetti looking appearance. Paint It Pretty is another one that's got a really nice straight up shimmer finish to it. And by Danny Viana's, of course, speaking of her, go figure. At the end of the thread here, I really liked just how glowy this one looks with the magnetic finish and all that. So that's mine, and this time, again, I have pictures that I'm showing you guys. Once again, if you haven't joined the Polish Pickup Pack on Facebook, go in there, join that, and then come over to the PPU BST group where Lisa and I admin it, and we'll let you in there. Again, the shop is going to open up for wish listing at the end of this week. And don't forget to leave a comment below so that I can do my giveaway for you. The giveaway is going to run until on May 30th at 4 p.m. Central Time. Look for your name there, and I'll also reply to your comment. Please email me, and there's also going to be timestamps on this video too. So all of this broken down. If you need to go over anything again, check out my description box for all the information. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.